about the oath of office and how
a U.S. congressional committee investigating last year's January 6 riot on Capitol Hill has concluded its final scheduled hearing. And the evidence seen so far regarding the involvement of former U.S. President Donald Trump is damning. The committee found that Trump willfully ignored pleas from aides and his children to rebuke the mob.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kinzinger.
There can be no doubt that he commanded a mob he knew was heavily armed, violent, and angry, to march on the Capitol to try to stop the peaceful transfer of power. And he made targets out of his own vice president and the lawmakers gathered to do the people's work. These facts have gone undisputed. And so there needs to be accountability. Accountability under the law. Accountability to the American people.
The committee also found that Trump failed to make a single call to law enforcement or national security on the day of the violent protests. Other key developments from this latest hearing are that Secret Service agents feared for their lives during the attack, and Trump's daughter, Ivanka, was called to help convince him to stop the events taking place. The panel is seeking to build a case that Trump acted illegally in a bid to overturn his defeat by Democratic leader Joe Biden in the November 2020 presidential election.
Televised during prime time, the January 6th committee hearing painted a picture of a dereliction of duty by the former president of the United States, Donald Trump. The hearing largely focused on the 187 minutes that followed after the former president encouraged protesters to march on Capitol Hill. Former Deputy National Security Advisor Matthew Pottinger and former Deputy White House Press Secretary aide Sarah Matthews both testified in front of the committee. They discussed the president's tweets and his actions during that 187 minutes. They resigned shortly after the January 6th insurrection, but they confirmed that the president was told what was going on and that he never called in to try to assist the overwhelmed Capitol Hill police officers. This, as new evidence emerged that Secret Service members were calling family members in case they didn't make it home, and officials tried to evacuate the former Vice President of the United States, Michael Pence, from the premises twice, even as the president was reluctant to try to condemn the attacks and to push for an orderly transition of power. Matthews and Pottinger's testimonies largely corroborated the testimony of Cassidy Hutchinson, the former White House aide who opened the hearings last month. This Thursday's hearing is expected to be the last for a while until hearings resume in September. In New England, Colin Campbell for Euronews.